Welcome to Experiments in Happiness with Michelle Lemus, the podcast for high achieving women who've checked all the boxes but still feel something's missing.
Let's talk about a word that somehow became both a badge of honor and an emotional straitjacket. Busy. I spent years wearing busy like it was a personality trait, like proof. Proof that I mattered, proof that I was productive, proof that my life was meaningful. If every hour was full, then I must be doing something right. At least that's what I told myself. But looking back now, I can see it clearly. I wasn't building a fulfilling life. I was building a full one. And there's a difference. A big difference. Most of us don't realize that difference until we're standing right in the middle of it, tired, restless, accomplished on paper, and quietly wondering why it still doesn't feel like enough. We live in a culture that worships productivity. We praise people for juggling 27 things without dropping a ball, even if they're quietly falling apart inside. You've probably felt it. That little rush when you check something off your list. The satisfaction of saying, I got it. The buzz of being needed. The validation of being the reliable one. Busy feels good for a moment, but here's the quiet truth. We don't talk about enough. Being busy proves nothing about who you are, except that you have a long to-do list. Busy tells the world you're occupied. Fulfillment tells the world you're alive. And no one really teaches us how to tell the difference. Think about the last time someone asked how you were doing. Chances are you said something like, good, just busy. We've let busy become the baseline of being human. It's the default answer, the socially acceptable one, the one that doesn't invite follow-up questions. But if we're honest, busy is often code. Code for I'm overwhelmed. I'm distracted. I'm avoiding something. I don't know what I want, so I'm doing everything. We stay busy because slowing down means hearing our own thoughts. And hearing your own truth, that can be uncomfortable. There was a time in my life when an empty Saturday made me uneasy. If I wasn't moving, planning, fixing, or accomplishing, who was I? I thought rest had to be earned. I thought freedom came later. I thought slowing down meant falling behind. And underneath all of that was a belief I didn't even realize I was carrying. If I stop, I might have to admit something needs to change. So I stayed busy, not because I loved everything I was doing, but because motion felt safer than stillness. But here's what I've learned. Fulfillment isn't built on how many things you do. It's built on how meaningful those things feel. You can have a calendar that looks wide open and a life that feels rich. You can also have a calendar packed from morning to night and a heart that feels hollow. Fulfillment requires space. Space for intention, space for choice, space for alignment, space for presence. You can't rush your way into a meaningful life. You have to live your way into one. And that's the part that makes us uncomfortable because presence doesn't give you applause. Stillness doesn't earn praise. Choosing less doesn't look impressive. Busy might get you recognition, but fulfillment gets you peace. And peace doesn't shout, it whispers. There was a moment, not dramatic, just honest, when I realized I was doing so much, yet I felt so disconnected from myself. I wasn't miserable, I wasn't failing, but I was exhausted in a way sleep didn't fix. And I started asking different questions, not how can I get more done, but why am I doing all of this? That question changed everything. Because once you ask it, you start noticing which parts of your life feel alive and which ones feel performative, which commitments energize you, and which ones drain you quietly, which tasks actually matter, and which ones just keep you busy enough not to feel. And here's the shift that matters most. This isn't about doing less. It's about doing what matters. There's a huge difference between I have to fill every moment and I choose what deserves my energy. Fulfillment lives in the second one. It's not about the size of your calendar. It's about the quality of what you place on it. So I want to offer you an experiment, not a massive life overhaul, not a dramatic quitting spree, just a gentle way to bring this from an interesting idea into lived experience. This week, I want you to make a simple 2-column list. On one side, write down the things that make you feel busy. Not bad, not wrong, just busy. The things that create motion without meaning. Scrolling, saying yes automatically, over-cleaning, over-explaining, filling silence, doing things because you always have. Be honest. Then on the other side, write down the things that bring fulfillment, the things that fill you up, even if they're small. Reading, walking, deep conversations, creative work, quiet mornings, slow evenings, time where you can hear yourself think. No judgment, just noticing. Then, and this is important, choose one small swap, just one. One thing from the busy column you can pause, skip, delay, or outsource. And one thing from the fulfillment column you can add or prioritize. Maybe you exchange busy scrolling for reading 5 pages. Maybe you exchange busy saying yes for pausing before responding. Maybe you exchange busy cleaning every night for a relaxing cup of tea before bed. This is not about perfection. It's about intention. And then you observe. At the end of the week, ask yourself, did I feel calmer? Did I feel more like myself? Did my energy shift? The point isn't to redesign your whole life in 7 days. It's to gently prove something to yourself. Your time is yours. Your energy matters. Your life doesn't have to be constantly full to be deeply meaningful. Busy might get you applause. But fulfillment gives you peace. And peace is not lazy. Peace is not unambitious. Peace is not giving up. Peace is choosing alignment over noise. You deserve more than a packed schedule. You deserve a full heart. And that starts not with doing more, but with choosing what matters and letting the rest go. So here's to building a life that feels meaningful, not just occupied, one experiment at a time.
Thanks for listening to Experiments in Happiness. You can find more tools and resources at experimentsinhappiness.com.